Welcome back. Yesterday we said we would talk about some other ideas in healthcare. Now, in just the few minutes we have, obviously we're not going to go through an exhaustive list. So let's just talk about a couple, understanding that there are many creative and innovative ideas out there. The first idea that I've heard expressed is that the government, instead of providing health care, pay for the insurance. So when we talked about veterans yesterday, and President Trump has actually begun to implement this, veterans get a card, a health insurance card. They can purchase their health care wherever they want, and the government pays the insurance rate. That is something that we could actually emulate. Can you imagine if instead of the government providing health care for seniors, the government said, we're going to pay your premiums, you go to whatever private insurer you want. Well, those private insurers already know how to do it because they've been doing it for years. Government costs would be fixed, manageable, predictable. Seniors would be in charge of what plan they wanted, what kind of health care they wanted. So the government's out of providing health care, which means they can't determine who gets what health care under what conditions. Sounds like an idea we should look more into. The second idea that we're going to mention today has actually been promoted by a group of physicians. If, for example, you wanted to know how much a blood test cost or an annual physical cost, and you called 10 different doctors, they're actually not allowed to tell you how much that costs. They would say, well, what insurance do you have? What the company is? What package is it? And when you talk to those doctors, what they tell you is the actual health care is $25, I made that number up, but for comparison purposes, and the insurance paperwork costs are $65, about triple what the healthcare is. Imagine if we said we're going to allow physicians to offer healthcare insurance-free, so that you could just shop the doctor that you wanted. They could post their prices, and because they would be freed from having to fill out all the insurance paperwork, they could just charge you what the health care was. It would be cheaper for them. You would know exactly what your cost is. You could decide what you wanted and what you didn't. And your health insurance costs would go down because all of those little kind of regular fixed costs, whether it's your annual physical or a blood test, those things that the costs are pretty fixed, the insurance wouldn't have to pay for them. So you could eliminate those things from your insurance, making your premium cheaper and putting you and your doctor in control of your health care. What a novel idea that would be. That's the direction that we need to drive this conversation, as opposed to how do we get the government to do more, which always means they do less for more money. Instead, let's put you and your physician in charge. And that's, I think, where the debate needs to happen. Tomorrow, we're going to move on to the second of our fundamental rights, the right to liberty. See you then.